Today we'll be discussing geological time scale. The geological time scale GTS is a chronological stratification framework that carves Earth's history into several hierarchical segments. These time units help scientists understand and communicate the complex history of Earth along with significant geological and biological events. So, the geological timescale actually is the system used by geologists, paleontologists, and other scientists to talk about the timings and the relationship among events that took place during Earth's history. So it breaks down an enormous amount of time since Earth formed some 4.56 billion years ago into workable framework. The time scale is divided into several subunits, namely eons, eras, periods, epochs, and ages, which represents major stages in the geological and biological evolution of the Earth. The principal divisions of geological time are called eras. These are eras. So, three eras are recognized: the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic. Paleozoic means ancient life, Mesozoic means middle life, and Cenozoic, recent life. So, each of these eras are subdivided into smaller time units called periods. And Paleozoic uh, has 7 periods. Mesozoic and Cenozoic has 3 and 2 periods respectively, and each period is characterized by its profound changes in the life forms. And these 12 periods are further subdivided into epochs, and these are epochs into ages. Then first we'll start with the eons. The eon is the broadest category of geological time scale. Earth's history is characterized by 4 eons. You can see here in order from the oldest to the youngest. These are Hadean, then Archean, and Proterozoic, and Phanerozoic. Collectively, these three, that is Hadean, Archean, and Proterozoic, are sometimes informally referred to as Precambrian, and this is the interval of geological time which is characterized by abundant complex fossilized remains. Precambrian and Phanerozoic eon both consist of 3 eras. So first is Precambrian eon. So Precambrian is the first and the longest eon in Earth's history, spanning from the planet's formation, means Earth's formation, to the start of the Cambrian period. And it is means informal unit of time, and is further divided into 3 eons, as I already told you: Hadean, Archean, and Proterozoic. Hadean Eon is the earliest eon and lasting from the Earth's formation to about 4 billion years ago. It is characterized by molten Earth and the formation of the Earth's core, mantle, and crust. Then Archean Eon. This eon spanned from about 4 billion to 2.5 billion years ago. During this time, the Earth's surface cooled, oceans formed, and the first signs of life appeared. Then Proterozoic eon. This eon lasted from 2.5 billion to 541 million years ago. Then plate tectonics became more active in this eon, and the life evolved primarily in the ocean with the appearance of the first multicellular organism toward the end of this uh, eon. Next is Phanerozoic eon. This eon began from 540 million years ago and is still continuing today. And this Phanerozoic eon is divided into 3 eras: Paleozoic era, Mesozoic era, and Cenozoic era. So now what are eras? Eons of geological time are subdivided into eras which are the second longest unit of geological time. So, Paleozoic Eon is divided into three eras, as I already told you. Paleozoic means old life, Mesozoic era, middle life, and Cenozoic era means new life. So, first is Paleozoic era. Paleozoic era started 600 million years ago and continued till about 225 million years. So its time range is about 30 million years. The animals in the seas and oceans were invertebrate that time. Then non-floral vegetation came into existence. The chief uh, rocks of this period are slate, hard sandstone, hard limestone, and rocks of this period are found large deposit of valuable minerals. The rocks of this period in North America abundant in gold, oil, coal, and iron ore, while in the Europe, it's tin, copper, and iron were found in the rocks of this period. So this era further subdivided into six periods, of which the oldest one is the Cambrian, followed by Ordovician, then Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. Second is the Mesozoic era. Mesozoic era is formed is a combination of two words. Meso means middle and zoic means life. So, in other words, it is the meeting time between the old and the new era. Mesozoic era is of much shorter duration than Paleozoic. The climate started getting warm and dry in this era, and the snow cover of Antarctica began to melt. This era is best known as the age of dinosaurs and reptiles. In this era, birds make their appearance in Jurassic, and the small mammals begin to appear in the Triassic. So, this era consists of three periods: Triassic period, Jurassic period, and Cretaceous period. Third is Cenozoic era. This is the latest era in the Earth's geological history and has begun about 65 million years ago. Cenozoic is actually the combination of two words, that is, Ceno means new and Zoic means life. It is an era of new life which normally divided into two periods, tertiary and quaternary. But there are some people who are in favor to regard that the tertiary and the quaternary are two separate eras. But the tertiary periods ended about 1 million years ago, and at present we are living in the quaternary period. So next is periods. Then each era is divided into even more specific blocks of time called periods, and various geologic events are associated with each period. The most well-known of all geological periods is the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era. This is the Mesozoic era, and this is the Jurassic period. And in the United States, the Carboniferous period, just look at this era, Paleozoic, and the period Carboniferous. It's divided into two separate periods, the Mississippian and the Pennsylvania. Then each period is again classified into different epochs. And first we'll start with the different periods. So first of all is the Cambrian period of Paleozoic era. This period was about 90 million years long, from 600 to 500 million years. Then Carbonian, uh, this uh, Cambrian period. So the transgression of sea over the land surface. Land submerged underwater due to Earth's movement that gave rise to sedimentary rocks. It is why the rocks of this period are quite extensive. The rocks of this time has light limestone at the bottom, over which are laid the layers of sandstone. Then and at the top is the thin layer of limestone again, And these rocks not only contain the fossils of oldest life, but also hold the first evidence of the life. Second is the Ordovician period. This period witnessed large portion of the land surface being submerged underwater, and half of the North America was underwater. There was an expansion of oceans in this period, and several volcanic eruptions took place in this period. And the eastern portion means eastern portion of the USA was overlaid with the volcanic ash and dust. Among animals, the greatest evolution of trilobite took place in this period. Then Silurian period, next period. It was the third period and followed by Ordovician period and preceded by Devonian period. This period was important for the birth of fishes and the land vegetation. Then Devonian period. It was about million years, about a million year long period. It began 440 million years ago and ended 350 million years ago. Devonian period saw at its beginning the well-known mountain building movement, that is Caledonian movement. The mountains of uh, Scandinavia, North England, and Scotland were formed in this period. So it is called the age of fishes because the sea were full of fishes. In the late Devonian, the first amphibians and vertebrates, then colonization of the dry land had begun. So all the rocks of this system hold the fossils of fish, and the chief creatures of this period were predominantly aquatic. Next is Carboniferous period. It was about 80 million years long. It began 350 million years ago and ended in 270 million years ago. The importance of this period is that the coal beds of the earth came to be formed, and hence it is known as the coal age. Thus, in course of time, due to the means intense heat and pressure, then successive layers of decaying vegetation entrapped in the sediment layers and were transformed into coal beds. And this period also saw the beginning of such animal life which could live both on land and water. And the last is Permian period. This period is 45 million years long, and it began 270 million years ago and ended 225 million years ago. The animals which could live both on land and sea came to evolve in all the more, and the reptile saw the light of day, and the temperature began to rise, and the climate started getting dry in this period. Now, I will tell you about the important periods in the history of Earth. Important periods in the history of the Earth are Carboniferous period, Permian, Jurassic, Cretaceous, and Quaternary period. So, Carboniferous period, as I already told you, is important. The importance of this period is that the coal beds of the Earth came to be formed. Hence, it is also known as the coal age. Then the Permian period. Permian period was the time when the Hercynian mountains building movement occurred. So this movement left its marks in the Central Europe and the North America and several other places. Then Jurassic period. Reptiles in this period reached their greatest proportion in this period, and they dominated the land, sea, and air. And the fossils of the first bird also belong to this period. Then Cretaceous period. So, in this period, deciduous trees appeared, and the most means undoubted the most dominating among animals were the reptiles in this period, and the first birds and the mammals were also appeared in this period, and a huge animal, that is dinosaur, began to decay and were almost extinct by the end of this. And the quaternary period saw the evolution of the man.